Hey, welcome back to another episode of OUTSIDEIN.
Your go-to source for honest conversations on relationships and marriage.
Yes, if you're ready, let's go.
Wow.
Alright, so for this episode, we're back again with our guest for today.
Yes, and don't forget, all About Nikah, Fitria SG.
Fitria SG, FITRIYYAHSG. Go for the last class conducted by Ustaz Maaz Sallim.
About parenting.
So if you are parents, you're going to be parents, want to learn about being a parent, do join this class conducted by Fitria SG. It's on Zoom, so you can go at the comfort of your own home. Yes, it's only $25.
Yes. Yeah. Now on to the program.
Yes.
Okay, so kita akan sambung cerita tadi. Last episode kita dah berbual pasal urusan jenazah, dah berbual pasal parukia. So now we are going to talk about
talk about how Islam shapes your relationship between a husband and a wife. Okay, boleh? Kita boleh mulakan?
Boleh, insyaAllah.
Okay, kita go straight to it lah.
Yes. How important is Islam in a marriage?
I would like to say that again, macam ni disclaimer, we are not the best couples to actually give any kind of advice pun. But what we're going to say is basically based on what we go through. As a couple, as a parent, sebagai suami isteri yang dah melayari rumah tangga selama 11 tahun ni, I would say that it is supposed to be playing a very crucial role in every aspect of your marriage, of the marriage itself. Apa pun ujian yang datang, let's just be real lah, kan? Tak ada rumah tangga yang tak ada gaduh-gaduh, tak ada masalah, tak ada disagreement, tak ada of course it's not always bed of roses lah. Kita nak kena faham benda ni lah kan, because as I mentioned in the interview, kita kalau menghadapkan kesempurnaan pada pasangan kita, kita nak kena sedar that we need to look at ourselves in the mirror and say that, look, I'm not perfect either, kan. So bila kita lihat sesuatu perkara tu dalam rumah tangga tu, most of the time I would say that if you were to make any form of decision berdasarkan dan bersandarkan kepada nilai-nilai agama, most of the time 99% will come out well. Yeah, because kita nak kena faham kenapa contoh, kalau we having any kind of disagreement, kalau kita ikut emosi, kalau kita marah, sometimes you end up saying things we don't want to say. Because kita ikut marah kan, kita just say it out, right? But kalau kita ingat balik, kalau apa yang kita tengah berbual dengan siapa, kan? Kita tengah berbual dengan isteri kita, berbual dengan suami kita, kan? Yes, they are humans. They make mistakes and sometimes they drive us up the wall. Kan? Kadang-kadang lah. Yeah. So
Excuse me.
I mean, yeah, sometimes macam yelah, the annoying part, the irritating part, you know, macam cakap banyak kali pun tak dengar-dengar, you know, that kind of thing. So but basically when we want to address certain issues, it's always good for us to remember that kalau kita tengah marah, jangan cakap dulu. Kan? Nabi pesan, bila tengah marah, diam, tenangkan diri, you know. So kalau selagi mana kita belum dapat mengawalkan perasaan, jangan berbual dululah. Kan? Bila dah tenang, then we talk it out. Yeah, so if you always go back to apa yang Nabi pesan, apa yang ulama-ulama katakan, apa yang kita boleh belajar daripada apa yang Allah pesan dalam Quran, sometimes it helps. Sorry, that's not the right word. It helps most of the time. Okay, it helps most of the time. So bila kita sedar itu, things will be a bit easier to manage. Things will be a bit easier for us to navigate, even in the most stickiest situation. You know, which I think help us a lot along the way. Because kalau tak, I think most of the time it's just based on emotions and, you know, kita nak buat apa yang kita rasa betul. Tapi sebenarnya at that point of time pun tak semestinya semua benda kita nak kena settle there and then. Sometimes we just need to take a step back and really reflect first. You know, maybe it could have been something that I did. It could be something as what she did, or maybe could I have done it better? You know, did I say something wrong? Mungkin niat kita tak ada apa-apa. Kadang kita suami just, you know, we will just speak our mind. But jiwa isteri kita ni lembut. Jadi kita nak kena faham bab tu. So most of the time bila kita muhasabah diri, kita tahu salah satu nilai agama yang murni dalam sifat akhlak kita, kalau kita sentiasa muhasabah diri, sometimes when we do that most of the time, kita boleh lebih relax lah. Because kita reflect on ourselves more. In salah siapa, betul ke tak, it doesn't matter. Because kita punya goal ni apa sebenarnya? Kita nak gaduh ke kita nak selesaikan masalah?
Correct.
Yeah, so when we do all this, sebenarnya is ajaran agama juga. You see, it's not just based on what we think it is. It's not just about what the norm is. Memang itu nilai agama. Kita tenang, reflect, find solutions together, we talk it out as adults. Yeah, so it is all nilai-nilai agama sebenarnya. Just that we don't really talk about it under the shade of religion.
Correct.
Yeah, so basically that is it.
Macam ibarat like, I mean, we always listen to a lot of advices from from those like professionals and whatnot. Kata, you know, anger is one step away from danger, things like that. But the backbone behind it is actually ajaran Quran juga.
Yeah.
That, you know, you have to be calm. And also abang tadi cakap ikut pesan Nabi kita. Is jangan berbual bila marah and things like that. So there's a reason why I believe that Quran is mentioned as the guidance of life for us. So kita boleh ikut dengan pengajaran Quran to not just to strengthen our iman, but strengthen our relationships as well. Not just with Allah, but also with people that we have in our life.
But don't get me wrong though, it's not easy.
It's not easy. Pasal manusia.
From someone who has anger issues.
Yeah. It's not easy. Okay, let me just open up a bit. Baran sebenarnya orang ni. I used to be macam nak cakap baran lah. In my younger days. But alhamdulillah, as I grow older, banyak sangat sebenarnya my wife helped me a lot in terms of trying to reflect on my actions. Kalau dah marah tu, Masya Allah,
banting kerusi,
Masya
banting
Allah.
meja, guys.
So
serious
those were the days. Yeah, it is one of the darkest moment in my life, which I think I don't want to go back there. Macam mana sekalipun lah, no one should be there. But there's always the reason why sometimes certain people behave that way, and sometimes it's not really spoken of. Tapi what is important is not what happened in the past. What's important is how you do better. You know, and it is a struggle. It is a struggle in a way that you can actually see me talk like this. There's a lot of tears. There's a lot of frustrations. There's a lot of uncertainties that someone has to face in order for them to really calm their demons down. You know, to really cast it out. Not just calm it down, but to cast it out. So in order for you to do that, it's not just you alone. You tak boleh buat benda ni seorang. So to have a spouse or to have a partner yang betul-betul boleh faham, yang betul-betul boleh sabar, and really help you to get out of that darkness, to get out of that habit of always feeling that you need to vent it out,
to act on the anger.
Yeah, so most of the time she'll be like, calm down. She will hold me. She will really hold me and she will say, calm down. Kalau rasa macam masih tak boleh, pergi ambil wuduk. The tone is important, guys.
Yes, correct.
The tone is important, because I'm the kind of person, kalau tengah marah, you voice out to me in a way that it's provoking me, you're not going to get me to calm down. Yeah. So that, I mean, I'm just being real here. Okay. So daripada tadi berbual macam malaikat mana kan. Yeah. So I'm just being open and just being real here that
Human.
we are all humans. We have our characters that we are not proud of. Tapi alhamdulillah, I'm being blessed with a wife yang betul-betul faham, that really stood by me, and then who really make sure that I am really able to overcome it. And then alhamdulillah, it's because of that, because of the love, because of the faith that I can be better. I am who I am today. Alhamdulillah.
So in a way, Kak Farah's presence in your life also made a positive impact jugalah. Pasal jadi isteri.
Of course. Penting.
Yeah. So pasal I'm also quite a barren person juga, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Kan?
Like how you see me now, like you nampak tak pernah nampak my past especially. So bila when abang is sharing stories about banting barang semua, pernah sama juga. So and I relate strongly with you in a sense where I think mungkin dulu Farah kot yang dia punya
Farah ni memang masya-Allah orangnya.
Everybody needs a Farah.
Because like you said about how like when you're currently in a state of flames, fire gitu, we need that person to calm us down, siram air yang sejuk, yang tenang. And Farah has been doing that for me as well. Like my Farah. Farah isteri. So she knows that when I'm angry, she doesn't like macam kenapa you marah? Tak ada.
Yeah.
She always be like, can you calm down? Dengan cara
Dengan suara cute dia.
dengan tenang dia. So and I get where you're coming from about how this communication, once again boils down to communication.
Yep.
Cara how we understand our partners punya level and how we can manage to bring that anger down in the ways that only you would know, only a best friend, a wife would know.
Yeah.
So alhamdulillah, thank you. So yeah, I think it goes to show that, you know, a person or rather anybody can really change for the better if they want to change themselves, and if they have a partner that's supporting that change.
When they have a Farah.
When they have a Farah in their life.
Right. Farah.
That's right.
Ingat nama tu.
Well, okay. In the previous episode, we mentioned that Kak Farah was from a madrasah, and then Abang is currently now he's learning to be a better Muslim.
Always learning. Yeah.
Always learning to be better Muslim. So, ada orang batuk.
Gangguan ke tu?
Kena rukiah ke rumah ni.
Jangan lah.
Belah saja.
So okay, so with that in mind kan, because okay, we mentioned about how Quran has been an ajaran guidance in life. So if let's say the knowledge of Islam, the knowledge of the Quran isn't strong in one of the partners, will it be
Is it a bad thing?
will it be a bad thing?
No, I don't agree with that statement. Because kita nak kena faham, sama ada one partner is more au fait ataupun lebih berilmu ataupun tidak. It doesn't mean anything actually. Because we're not talking about individuals here. We're talking about a team. We're talking about a couple. We're talking about an institution. We're talking about a foundation. So kalau sekiranya lah contoh, one person or maybe the wife is better in Quran compared to the husband. Naturally kalau kita nak tengok lumrah manusia, of course, like how I felt before, the husband will feel a bit small, kan? Because yalah, sometimes we have to say it out loud, is ego sometimes.
Yes.
Okay. But then again, you have to understand matlamat kita apa. When we get married, what is our main goal? The main goal is for us to reach to a certain level of understanding, sama-sama untuk kita bantu sama-sama untuk mendekatkan diri pada Allah. Because there's a reason why they say that pernikahan tu completes half of your deen.
Betul.
Right? Okay. So the other half is basically your effort with your partner to reach to a common goal. Because sometimes kalau kita draw that triangle kan, the husband on one side, the wife is on the one side. If you move towards that goal together, you eventually will meet up. You know, so it does not matter who learns more, who knows more, because as you grow up, as you grow up the ladder, or as you grow up the pyramid, you will eventually learn from one another. So bila kita belajar dari satu sama lain tu, so eventually we'll be on par. You know, but effort has to be there lah. Kita tak boleh selalu have this thinking, oh, you know, sometimes it's very common for us to hear, aku ni bukan pandai agama, and then you stop there. You know,
Do nothing about it.
yeah, I would like to encourage kalau kita, alhamdulillah kita sedar kita ni ada kekurangan. Tapi jangan membuatkan kekurangan tu menjadi satu hambatan untuk kita jadi manusia ataupun orang yang lebih baik untuk pasangan kita. Tak, kalau kita sedar, alhamdulillah, kita tahu partner kita tu lebih tahu. Tak salah untuk kita bertanyakan, boleh tak ajar sikit. Kalau malu, okay, again it's about ego kan. Then belajar agama sama-sama. Learn together. Kalau tak tahu, on the way back, drive back ke dalam MRT ke dalam Grab ke, we can always talk about, tadi kita belajar apa lah. So what do you understand by this? So am I understanding correct? You know, all these kind of things. So it really doesn't matter who knows more, because at the end of the day is how we meet in the center.
Correct.
You know, and then we complement each other. And then I think that will help even more untuk kita sama-sama membangunkan institusi keluarga yang stable in the sense of knowledge, dan support system tu penting lah. You know, jangan kita merasakan kita ni tak tahu apa-apa, so we look down on ourselves. Tidak. There's a reason why your partner knows more than you. Take advantage of that. Lagi senang sebenarnya. Dah halal kan?
Yeah, correct.
Dah together satu rumah. It's easier for us to gain from our partner. You know? So take advantage of that, and then sama-sama build each other up, and then for all you know, for one day there are a lot of other things yang kita tahu yang partner kita tak tahu. You know? So we complement each other lah. So we fill up that gaps, so that both of you will be full and whole. Itu yang penting lah.
Because I think I've seen a few videos also about them saying that kalau lelaki tu tak beragama, yang tak kuat agamanya, tak patut jadi seorang suami, things like that. You know, so now that you mention about this, I think it's safe to say that memang it's fine as long as we ourselves want to better and get more knowledge on our own, together with the help of the partner that we have.
Betul.
Yeah, I think because as a woman lah, we are always taught by our mothers to find a man that can lead you.
Right.
So that has always been ingrained in our brains. But also we have to understand that jodoh tu dah ditentukan. Okay.
Dia macam okay.
Saya dengar ni. Apa lagi?
For me personally, it really doesn't matter as long as I can see he is actively trying to learn.
Right.
He's actually trying to be better.
Yeah.
Kalau dia tak ada that feeling kan, macam I tengok macam tak nak pergi kelas sama, kalau I ajak pun ada banyak alasan, itu dah red flag for me.
Right.
But if he is like, okay, I want to learn, like turunkan ego, you know, like Yan is like that. So he showed me that he has the interest to be better, and that's all I need, honestly.
That means dulu bila time kita belum kahwin, time tunang tu, dia selalu ajak pergi kelas under few institutes lah. Tu it's a good decision that I made to go with you.
Actually tu untuk test. Nak pergi tak nak ni?
Tapi ni confirm kau dah pass.
Testing sebenarnya.
Yeah, but actually that's how it's supposed to be, you know. That's how the support system is. Tapi I would like to also add on a bit. Kita may have someone who is able to lead us dalam segi agama, who is well off with so many things. Yang penting juga ada akhlak.
Okay.
You need to understand that. So jangan kita nampak orang tu agama dia tak berapa solid, so kita jangan ambil. Tak, because most of the time akhlak tu penting. Because akhlak will determine a lot of things. Because seperti mana yang kita tahu, banyak guru-guru kita katakan, kita boleh berilmu dalam segi apa pun. We can have 100 and 1,000 of ilmu. Tapi kalau akhlak kita tak ada, akhlak kita kurang, it defeats the purpose. Sebab ilmu tu sepatutnya membentuk akhlak. Dan akhlak tu datang daripada ilmu. Okay. So kalau kita ada orang yang berilmu tapi akhlak dia kurang, then we have to really understand the focus of this. So kalau sekiranya partner kita ada akhlak yang baik, dia orang yang baik, hormat orang tua, okay, usaha untuk jadi orang yang lebih baik, agama tu akan datang dengan sendirinya. You know, because because I don't want people out there to think that okay, so aku nak kena cari orang yang macam ustaz-ustaz. Tidak. It doesn't have to be like that. You know, it doesn't have to be like that. You have to look at the akhlak first. Okay, dah tengok akhlak, then kalau dia kurang dalam segi agama, then why not sama-sama pergi?
You just need a Farah actually.
Betul lah.
Okay, so kita nak kena sama-sama lah, sama-sama pergi. If you find that is lacking in your partner, don't look down on them.
Yes.
Sama-sama pergi, sama-sama ajak pergi kelas, sama-sama belajar agama. Then you can learn, and then I think that makes the journey even sweeter.
Yeah. It's the knowledge that you both gain at the same time.
Correct.
Actually, when you dah pasang niat kan, you nak to be with this person, and your goal is to bring each other to Jannah. When you actually go for these classes and you dapat ilmu and everything, the feeling is very it's unexplainable.
Yeah.
Yeah, dia macam wah, like we are supporting each other, we are doing this for our marriage, and this is something. You know? Gitu.
It's a level of satisfaction.
Yes.
Because I give you one example. That time pergi, that time when I don't know whether, but I don't think you know this. This happened during kita punya kursus rumah tangga.
Oh.
So during kursus rumah tangga time tu, the group of guys were having discussion. Okay. And then out of the blue, this guy were to come in and say that, okay, aku nak tanya korang satu soalan. Betul kan? Kerja rumah ni semua kerja perempuan. Okay? Lelaki tugas dia kerja je. Okay? So lelaki don't do housework. Betul kan? Because this is my stand.
Wow.
Susah tu. Macam mana?
So
Tak sabar, yang cakap ni siapa?
one of the participant.
Okay.
So he felt strongly with
I
this.
see.
So macam, but that time of course I don't answer anything lah. Kat time tu
belum kahwin lagi.
Salam takziah kepada isteri dia.
Belum kahwin satu, and I am in no position to say anything lah. Tapi alhamdulillah, insyaAllah, I think kita doakan diorang okay. But this is something which nak kena faham. Ilmu tu satu, but what kind of ilmu do you put into yourself? There is one. Tapi kalau kita merasakan yang semua ni is tugas isteri, kita tak perlu buat apa-apa, then kita salah. Silapnya di situ. Okay, I think all of us are guilty of this, especially the husbands. Okay, sebab kita nak tahu kerja rumah, gosok baju, cuci baju dan sebagainya. It's easier for me to say this, tapi the reality of this is memang tugas suami.
Oh, tahu.
Yes, kita tahu. That's why I said, that's why disclaimer. Disclaimer siang-siang tadi I said that we are all guilty of this. Okay, we are all guilty of this. Tapi kita harus sentiasa berterima kasih dengan isteri. Because disebabkan sebab ihsan tu, mereka lakukan semuanya untuk kita. Because of out of love, out of trying to help us to raise the family, jaga rumah, jaga harta kita, jaga anak kita. That's why they are doing this. Because most of the men are working. And we have housewife, and majority of the wife nowadays are working. So kalau kita nak mengharapkan isteri yang buat semua ni, with that knowledge that I stand firm by this, then masalah sikit lah. So kita nak kena tahu. So in this kind of era, zaman sekarang ni is more on teamwork lah.
Teamwork.
Yeah, I mean I can safely say that memang jarang kita ringan tangan. Okay, let's just be honest and be real here. Kita bukan the dream husband yang balik rumah letak bag terus pakai apron, masak, cuci baju.
Mungkin Yan.
Mungkin Yan boleh masak. Alhamdulillah dikurniakan oleh seorang suami yang boleh masak. For me, I can only rebus hotdog, masak telur ceplok, masak nasi, itu je. Okay. But alhamdulillah, but this is the thing that we need to understand lah, kan. Sebabkan nilai agama tu juga, ilmu tu juga, kita boleh tahu hak kita apa sebenarnya. And then jangan bincangkan sangat tentang hak, because if you're gonna be calculative, then it's gonna be a bit difficult. So that is where kita akan cuba seraya upaya, if we can lend a hand to our wife, please do so. Sebab kita nampak orang macam kat rumah macam okay tau, tapi sebenarnya there's a lot of things that they go through at home dan kita tak tahu. Kita tahu kita kat luar, kita stress kerja balik, tapi diorang kat dalam rumah ni macam-macam benda yang diorang lalui, kadang-kadang tak dapat nak ceritakan, you know.
Penat sangat.
Yes, because that is something which we need to understand. Okay. So kalau tengok, I mean I'm just gonna be real lah, kan. So we have to lend a hand a bit, selagi mana yang kita boleh. That's why I'm not the kind who say that balik nak kena
jadi
hidangkan makan lah, siapkan air lah, all this kind of thing. So is do as how you can, semampu, jangan sampai betul-betul penatkan diri. If really you cannot do it, you're too tired, then just leave it, you know. And as and when if I have the time, macam mood rajin sikit, then yes, I will help to lipat kain. Walaupun tak serupa mana yang isteri kita buat lah.
Ada tak bila dah lipat dia suruh lipat balik?
Tak
Tak pernah.
Alhamdulillah tak. Cuma dia
But I can do.
Sorry.
Lipat balik lah, but sometimes I lipat back myself lah.
without them knowing, right?
Dia macam,
sakit badan.
Niat dia ada nak tolong.
But effort is there. Tapi niat tak menghalalkan cara.
But you just have to do it lah. You know, whether or not it meets their expectation or not, it doesn't matter lah. To me lah. The thing is, I think our wife would appreciate even the slightest bit of help. Walaupun not to their standard, tapi they will really appreciate it lah kalau kita buat. So jangan really menegakkan, oh aku suami, there's certain things I can do, certain things I don't do. Don't do that lah.
That would be falling under culture rather than religion. Is it?
Yeah,
safe to say.
If you want to say it like that, yes. Most of the time, the way we lead our life is based on culture, expectations, traditions. Tapi tak salah juga. Tak semua tu salah. Jangan salah faham tak semua tu salah. But certain things we can play around with. Certain things kita boleh duduk dan fikir sekejap. Do what is right for both you and your wife lah.
Correct.
The situation at home is always different in every household.
It's different. Kita tak boleh samakan. Oh, dia boleh buat, then kenapa tak boleh buat? Jangan macam itu. We look at our own situation. Kita make the best out of it.
I mean, that's where communication comes in lah. So you need to have mutual agreement with each other. Sebab kalau macam I tak nak you lipat baju macam ni, tapi you lipat juga, then there's a problem lah.
Okay.
But if you learn to adapt and you know macam what you call that,
Tolerance.
like
sifat toleransi.
ya betul. Like
Tapi actually bila abang tolong you rasa macam kan.
of course lah.
Macam it doesn't matter lah dia macam buat tak up standard ke apa.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like when you are at the 11th year of marriage, dia lipat baju tu macam prata pun, you like yes lah, diorang lipat baju tu. Just take and keep, like it doesn't matter anymore.
Prata sedap weh.
Macam lepas ni lagi ada mulut tu makan prata.
Actually I have a lot, cause alhamdulillah I have a husband like Yan, right? So my friends always say like, kau untung suami kau dapat masakan. Hari-hari aku tengok apa ni, Yan masakan, Yan masak sedap. Untung you so lucky. Memang I feel like super lucky. But like abang said, every marriage is different. I hope they don't take Yan as a benchmark for their own partners to live up to that.
Right.
Because Yan orangnya memang suka masak and pandai masak. And it's in our marriage, like he does most of the cooking lah. But macam if in your own marriage your husband tak tahu masak, I hope you don't macam apa Yan boleh masak, you tak boleh masak.
Itu dah susah.
Itu tak pasal suruh Yan masak lah.
Nanti jangan ada pasal you.
Boleh buat business ni. Bring home chef. You hire me, I cook for you.
Chef tak apa, jangan bring home husband.
Itu
dah masalah.
Yalah, different marriage has different strengths. Everybody has different strengths.
Right. I think just to share a bit about why I do the things that I do as a husband lah. Pasal even way before I got married, and I have an example by my dad. My dad dia suka masak also, and then he always does the laundry and whatnot. So I learned that our Prophet himself, that he does most of the housework.
Yes.
So in a way, I try to emulate him as much as I can in ways that I know that I can do.
Kalau isteri buat semua, boleh buat perkahwin. Like husband goyang kaki je macam mana?
Goyang kaki minta orang serve makan.
For example, macam contoh kita balik kerja, we know that our wife is tired. Sometimes kita pergi dapur, then the scenario is ada pinggan mangkuk yang belum cuci. Instead of making noise, instead of asal tak cuci ni kenapa, kan kita cuci lah.
Tak penat pun. Tak
kita
sampai
cuci lah, kan. So it's like I think this is where I think maturity comes in. rather than we talk about individual responsibilities. But I think maturity needs to come in to the point that you look at it, tak apalah, kita buat kan. Then you just, I dah cucikan dah. I think they will really appreciate that. It's the love language lah. I think the love language of our respective partners. Sometimes benda-benda macam ni kita have to really perhatikan. Oh, this is how my husband or my wife show love.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really do the big things, but sometimes the small things is what really matters.
Yes.
So I think benda ni yang kita nak kena really magnify lah. You know, because this is something which I learned from the Love Symposium that I attended by Ustaz Tamliha punya company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so these are the things that that were discussed about love languages of our partners.
Okay.
Kita nak kena faham, oh, this is how they show love. Because how we show love to our spouse, we cannot compare to how other people punya, like what you said, how their marriage, dorang punya show love macam mana. You know, so we should appreciate it and magnify it to the point that, oh, memang this is how my husband show love, or this is how my wife show love. Then you feel good about it. Then jangan compare with other people.
Yeah, I always say do what works for your marriage.
Yeah.
Don't follow other people. You can take everything with a grain of salt.
Yes.
But see if it works. If it doesn't, then try to make it work.
Betul.
Try to find a way that is comfortable for your own marriage.
Macam
Tak payah
ada couple they bond main game sama-sama. Ada
yeah.
couple just tengok movie hari-hari sama-sama. There's all these kind of different things that you can.
Monopoly.
Monopoly Go.
I mean, you magnify the things that you have in common. You magnify the things that you both like to do together. So I think that will be best kalau kita dapat buatkan benda tu. You know, rather than focus on what are we lacking on. Tak. That is why during the interview I say focus on the strength rather than the weakness.
Yes.
This is the part whereby kita tahu this is our strength. This is what we have in common. Magnify it lah. Beautify it, do it, and then make it like a weekly kind of thing, so that sentiasa ada something yang kita have always connection with.
It's nice.
Yeah. Correct. Bless you.
Okay, so since we are talking about how Islam is a critical pillar in your marriage, right? Okay. Tadi I dengar you abang ada cakap pasal apa? Pasal rumah.
Oh, we received the letter for BTO.
Oh,
Yeah, then kita tengok nak kena top up dari 25,000. Itu macam mana nak dapat duit tu Then we were macam tak dapat ke rumah. You know, because where are we going to get this money from? So maybe that time I was walaupun kita suami, kita tahu that we are also worried, but our wife is also worried. So macam mana nak yakinkan dia that everything is going to be fine? So macam mana yang nak tenangkan isteri because dah sedih tau ni. We kind of like have this thinking that we may or may not have the house
because of that 25.
Yeah, so what I did was always believe that dalam keadaan kita tengah serabut, baca Quran. Bila tengah happy, baca Quran. Tengah marah, dah tenang, baca Quran. So that time I was a bit sad, but I need to calm myself down. Nak kena yakinkan diri. So I just take my wuduk, I just open the Quran, I just read. Okay, dah baca and everything. So comes my wife, who came sit beside me and say that, macam mana ni? I just tell her that don't worry so much you know, walaupun dalam ni tengah macam risau, but we need to remind ourselves that ni ujian Allah. Dapat tak dapat bukan HDB yang tentukan, bukan government tentukan, kita pun tak dapat tentukan apa-apa. Kita minta pada Allah balik lah. Kalau sekiranya ini adalah baik untuk kita, dunia kita, akhirat kita, masa depan kita, keluarga kita, InsyaAllah nampak macam susah, tapi kalau kita ikhtiar, kita doa, InsyaAllah Allah akan mudahkan urusan kita lah kan. Yeah. So that is what I tell her. So macam tak apalah. That time kira kerja, gaji masih not that strong. So that was BTO. So BTO take roughly about 5 years to build, right? So tak apalah, kita serahkan balik pada Allah, because we have no means to determine anything kan. So with that mentality, I told her tak apa, kita serahkan balik pada Allah. Biar Allah aja yang settlekan this masalah for us. Kita just do our best. Dapat tak dapat, kita nak kena redha. nak kena faham qada dan qadar. Itu aja. So we leave it 100%. So nak dijadikan cerita, alhamdulillah, as the years goes by, gaji naik, and then after that submit appeal, kan? So when we submit appeal, alhamdulillah dapat.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. So again, if like I said, kalau kita nak risaukan sangat perkara macam ni, and then we start to worry, and then we start to have uncertainties, tapi kita lupa we have no control of anything pun sebenarnya.
Correct.
So when we have this conversation as husband and wife, saling mengingatkan, dan apa yang berlaku dalam kehidupan semuanya atas kehendak Allah. Allah controls everything. Kalau baik untuk kita, nampak macam susah macam mana pun, at the end of the day akan dapat juga. Nampak macam senang, tapi kalau bukan untuk kita, kita tak akan dapat pun. You know, how many times kita nak suap makan kat mulut ni, dah sampai ni, tapi jatuh juga. Itu rezeki, kan? Kalau memang rezeki tu untuk kita, kita suapkan makanan tu masuk dalam mulut kita, kunyah kita makan. But how many times do we encounter tengah nak suap ni, makanan jatuh, dah tak boleh makan sebab dah kotor. So if we understand that, insyaAllah rezeki kalau ada memang untuk kita, takkan ke mana. So kita nak kena serahkan balik pada Allah. So it's very important for us to have this understanding. So kalau kita as husband and wife can do this, insyaAllah masalah macam mana sekalipun kita boleh tenang lah. Let's not be the kind of husband yang tak apa, Allah ada, so rezeki tak apa, you know, tapi tak nak masak, tak nak makan, tak nak beli, all this kind of thing, you know. You have to go out. Sama juga macam apa yang kita tahu tentang satu peristiwa tu, di mana sahabat tu dia tak ikat unta dia, you know. Tapi Rasulullah kata, kenapa tak ikat unta, nanti lari. Dia kata, tak apa, Allah ada. Tak, bukan macam tu, kan? Kita nak kena ikat dulu. Kita ikat dulu unta tu, kita ikhtiar, lepas tu baru kita tawakal pada Allah. You know, we cannot just tak ikat, tak buat apa-apa, tapi kita tawakal macam mana? You know, dan nama juga unta, tak ikat jalan juga, hilang juga. Kan, orang tetap ambil, you know. But if you ikat dan after you tawakal, sekiranya kalau hilang juga, dan itu memang takdir Allah. Mungkin ujiannya di situ, hikmahnya apa, you know. So we have to have that mentality lah, kan. Tak boleh cakap, oh tak lock pintu, tawakal, insyaAllah pencuri tak masuk. Tak boleh macam tu,
tak masuk akal,
kan. Tak boleh macam tu. Kita nak kena lock dulu. Lepas tu kita nak baca ayat kursi, baca 3 kul, kita minta Allah lindungi rumah kita, baru kita tawakal.
Okay, when kita dah married kan, kita dah diberikan zuriat, right? How do we raise this precious life in the best way possible?
InsyaAllah, I think.
Yeah, yes sir.
Kak Farah.
Ni Kak Farah kena answer. Please lah Kak Farah. Dengar suara sikit lah please.
I don't know. I don't know how to say, but to me, I think raising a child, for me lah, I prioritize akhlak and adab. But to teach our child akhlak and adab, it has to come from us.
Okay.
So we have to set the example. Like for me, it's I don't do gentle parenting. Like I don't understand what is gentle parenting. I'm an Asian mom. But again, like you all say, macam kalau kita terapkan Islam dalam mendidik anak, I think that gentleness will come in naturally. You know, ada masa yang kita kena marah, ada masa yang kita, you know, can be gentle, sayang. Like Islam tak cakap pun tak boleh marah. Islam cakap kita boleh tegas dengan anak. You know, like from when Alpha is small, I really emphasize in akhlak and his adab. It's okay if he cannot study properly, you know, but as long as he knows how to treat people, he knows how to be kind to friends, that is more important to me. Like, of course, education is important. Even in Islam pun, education is important. But tak guna kalau kau berilmu tapi kau tak berakhlak. Like, tak guna kau berilmu tapi kau pandang rendah kat kawan kau. You know, like you can be smart, but then if you call your friends names or you call them dumb just because you are smarter than them, then it's also a problem. So for me, first and foremost is always adab. How you talk to your children also plays a part at home. So you mold your children from home. So when they go out, that's how they're going to behave. That's macam like it will give you that keyakinan, aku tahu anak aku akan behave outside because of how you treat your children at home. So memang it's true, like people say like everything starts from home. Like parents are our first teachers. Like it's an emotional journey like to raise a child. It's not easy.
But I think as a father yourself,
I think yang paling penting untuk kita membentuk jiwa anak tu macam mana. Most of us have this tendency that we grew up like that, so our kids have to grow up the same way. But I beg to differ because kita dah pernah lalui benda tu. Certain things still haunt us until today. So bila kita ada anak kita sendiri, we ought to change the way society is. We need to change a bit of culture, tradition. So contoh, kita nak anak kita mudah untuk mengatakan sorry, minta maaf. It has to start from us. Okay. So one of the things I think we can relate is pada mulanya of my son, kalau dia buat sesuatu salah, kesilapan lah. Okay, kita selalu cakap, if you do something wrong, what must you say? Sorry. Kan? Tapi kita lupa, kadang-kadang kita pun buat silap juga. Tapi kita nak cakap sorry macam mana? Senang ke susah?
Ego pun.
So that is where my wife come into place. Dia akan always tell me that doesn't matter if he makes a mistake. Yes, kita sebagai ibu dan ayah kadang-kadang kita marah. Kan benda tu salah, kenapa dibuat? So bila kita marah tu, kadang-kadang dia tak sadar kita marah tu, hati anak tu pun ada perasaan. Dia boleh kecil hati juga. So at the end of the day is kita nak dia cakap sorry, tapi kita yang marah dia ni, yang dia dah terkecil hati ni, kita tak nak cakap sorry. So from then on, we always make sure that kita cakap sorry dulu. Okay, I'm sorry, Baba minta maaf, Baba marah Afa, I don't mean anything, but it's because it's something that you did wrong, but I have to tell you so that you know that it's wrong, jadi you tak buat lagi. Tapi if any case, whatever I say, the way I do it, if it's Afa kecil hati, Afa sedih, Baba minta maaf. I love you, and that is all that I want to do, and I'm really sorry if I hurt.
Wow.
So dalam masa yang sama, my wife also did the same, you know. So lama kelamaan sekarang dia dah tak boleh stop cakap sorry.
It becomes
like he will say sorry until we respond.
So dia akan cakap macam like dia macam misbehave a bit kan. I just need to look at him one time, and then he will like, sorry Baba. Like
he will literally be on your face like, sorry ibu, I said sorry. Sorry until I say it's okay. Then he will like okay.
Because he knows it's wrong. And
macam
he wants to.
Dia macam nak beli toy. Kan biasalah budak-budak kan, nak beli mainan tak dapat. Habis muka dah masam. You know, then after that we talk to him a bit, but he's still not responding kan. After a while dia dah calm down kan. Mama, I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's like that tau.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so from there on kita boleh nampak tau. We have to understand our kids don't follow what we say. Our kids follow what we do. Okay. So bila kita tunjukkan dia sifat ihsan tu, sifat rendah diri, sifat pemaaf tu, sifat untuk sentiasa ready to seek forgiveness, minta maaf. Doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. Yang penting kita keluarga kan, nak kena jaga. So, minta maaf. So now macam dengan sendiri, kalau dia merajuk macam mana sekalipun, after he come down, dia akan datang, Baba I'm sorry, Ibu I'm sorry. Dia akan buat macam tu. So
sweet of
so
him.
it's like macam okay lah, you know. Then kita dengan sendiri, it's okay Afa, it's fine, it's not your fault. Because at the end of the day, macam mana anak kita behave is also because cara
the
kita
reflection
behave.
of the
I
parents.
mean, I learn a lot of patience through Alpha. It's like I can be ignoring his request. Like let's say dia nak beli mainan, then I say nanti. But he don't want to listen. So he will just make that merajuk face. He can go on like that for the whole day. Until macam like, maybe like he kira macam during his silence, he will take that time I think to reflect on himself. Like, asal aku perangai macam gini So by the end of the day, he will just come up to you and say, Ibu, I'm sorry for behaving like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
dia macam kita nak marah pun macam it's okay. It's okay.
He realizes his temper for that day.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Macam kita selalu cakap dengan dia, macam like what my wife cakap tadi kan, kita nak kena bentuk akhlak dan adab, kind to people. You know to the point that again, we are not saying that we are the best of parents, tidak. Because what we are trying to enforce is pentingnya untuk kita membentuk jiwa anak kita dengan nilai-nilai yang baik lah. Okay. So one of the things that I can share is ni dengan sendirinya, because kita always tell him be kind to people. So to the point tu, macam satu hari tu dia balik sekolah, dia cakap, oh my friend, so contoh my friend push me. Okay. So kita macam sometimes I will just play around with him, because as a father kan kita macam no, I need to toughen him up. People push you push back. You get what I mean? It's like orang pijak kau pijak balik. So it's just to get him to toughen up, because we don't want him to get bullied in school.
Correct.
But he will turn around and tell me, you cannot do that, Baba.
Dia yang cakap.
You cannot do that, Baba. Tak baik. It's okay.
Wah.
Orang buat kita, let my friends do that to me, but I will never hit them back.
Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
I think
So macam kita macam
I think I learned a lot of ahlak and adab through Alpha.
Wow.
It's like macam like he goes through a lot of things in school. Macam benda-benda macam bully is something normal to go through in school. So macam like he will come back and then he will like talk to me like, my friend do this blah 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 blah. So I will just say like, why don't you go and tell your teacher? And then he just said, but if I tell my teacher, I'm scared he or she will get scolded.
Oh.
Wow. This
like,
kid has a pure heart.
Yeah, he has a heart of gold, mashallah. Like macam, and then I'm like, but the kid do this to you.
Yeah.
Have to report. It's if you ignore, then benda ni akan like repeat again and again. But I say no, but I don't want my friend to get into trouble. And I'm like,
thinking of his friend.
I'm like, apa aku nak buat dengan budak ni
I dulu kecil-kecil pun kena bully juga. Secondary school orang bully, boom.
But nowadays I think he understand the concept of it. Nowadays he'll be like, kalau kawan dia macam ejek dia ke apa kan, then he will like, you don't want to hear whatever come out from my mouth, so you stay away. But then again, he still do it very politely tau. Dia tak ada macam whack balik ke or be rude or anything. Tak. Wow. He will just put it to his friend that still being respectful, still put it in a way that he don't hurt other people, but still send a message across. So I think benda-benda macam ni is something that only we can cultivate.
Yeah.
Only we can develop. Tapi it still has to come from us. Harus bermula daripada kita, ibu dan ayah. How we talk to each other. They are observing cara kita address, cara kita kadang-kadang macam at the point of time things that we may not have any agreement with, but how we address it. Kadang-kadang kita ada anak kat situ, cara kita cakap pun plays a part. And kids are very sensitive. Kids are very sensitive and attentive to what is happening around them, especially to their parents. So bila macam itu, kita nak kena always be mindful that they are always watching. Correct. So kalau kita nak anak kita berada certain kind of character, kita nak kena mulakan dulu. Kalau kita nak dia orang yang selalu ready to minta maaf or be receptive of people feedback, kadang-kadang kita nak kena dengar juga apa dia cakap. There are times whereby he is really angry with the both of us. Okay. So ini part dia macam bapak ada sikit. Okay. Yes. So can lighten things up. So ni part dia macam bapak dia sikit. So bila part dia dah marah tu, when he's angry about something for whatever reason lah kan, he will write a letter. Yeah, he will write a letter. Dulu cute-nya dulu bila dia belum pandai tulis, he will draw pictures. Okay, he will draw pictures to explain how he is feeling. Okay, so dia akan kasih pada ibu dia. Ibu nah. So kita will try, of course kita will like crack our head, ni apa dia nak cakap dia muka macam gini, habis shape macam gini, ni apa you know. So trying to understand his feelings tau. Okay, so as he grow older, dia dah pandai baca, dia dah pandai tulis kan. So now he write letter. He will tell you exactly what he is feeling inside.
Wow, okay.
Exactly what he feels. Even though kalau kita baca macam kan budak ni rasa macam ni Aku cakap jangan tengok TV je. You know, contoh. But he is able to really articulate everything. Well, this is how I feel. When you say this is how I feel. When you talk to me like this, I rasa macam gini, blah 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 blah. And he can really write.
Wow.
And that is my character, because I like to write. So bila having any kind of emotion turmoil, I don't really talk much. But if you ask me to write, type, or you can have a long one. You know. So that's how he express his feelings. So kita sebagai parents macam mana nak react? Is it kita nak cakap
buang
you feel all this, why? Why are you feeling all this? Because sometimes he can say things like, I feel like I'm dumb. I feel I'm stupid. I feel that my parents don't love me. So how do we respond to this? Are we gonna reprimand him for voicing out his emotions?
This is it's a valid feeling, because he's feeling what he's feeling, right?
Correct. Is making him feel that his feeling matters, or are we gonna be going around and say that apa semua ni? You know, you shouldn't be feeling like this. Why are you feeling like this? Kalau kita buat macam itu, he will shut down. He will shut down. He will never trust you with his feelings anymore.
Correct.
That is something which we don't want. So I always tell Farah that kita nak kena jadi best friends to him. Make
He's
sure
my best friend.
Yeah. He talks to his ibu about everything and anything. You know. So when we have that trust, when we build that trust with our child, they are more open to talk to us about anything without having the fear, what will my parents think of me? Tak. So when he write all that kan, sometimes kalau dia geram, he don't want to say. He's really angry. You can see his face. I say, okay, you ambil paper ni, you nak buat apa you buat. So there are times whereby he will just keep on tearing the paper. Tear. He will crumple it, he will throw. To the point that dia dah calm down. We hug him, settle. You know. So kita nak kena faham tau, they have emotions too. They have feelings too. Bukan kita je yang adults have emotions. So when they are expressing their emotions, when you are able to see that, kita nak kena angkat tangan tinggi-tinggi, syukur pada Allah yang anak kita ni selesa untuk tell us how he feels. You know. So when we see that, kita nak kena address it. Kita nak kena cakap, okay, this is valid. Okay, then we need to understand kenapa dia rasa macam ni. Is it because of what we say or how we say it? Is it because how we behave? You know, when we are angry, kita nak betulkan dia ni, tapi cara kita salah. You know, so
I mean, like how we attend to our child at any point of time plays a huge part on how they are going to attend to us. It's like macam, like when he is crying, for me, I won't say anything. I will just, Afa, do you need a hug? And then I will hug him. And like over time, I will realize that he does the same to me. So when I am crying, he will just, Ibu, do you need a hug?
Sweetnya.
Masya Allah.
And then we will just exchange hugs. And then he will just take a tissue. Sometimes like when I'm crying, he won't even say a word. He will just go to the kitchen, take a tissue and pass to me. Then like he will just let me cry. Then after I calm down, then he will like, are you okay? Do you want to talk to me about it?
Yeah. For a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah. Baru nak tanya, umur dia 10 tahun, but he's the way he's reacting to the emotions and all that is like an adult yang understands.
Like because like I say, like macam how we attend to our children plays a huge role. So macam small little things like let's say like I just want to have some time in the toilet to just run away from everything. So from the toilet, I like to shout, Alpha, are you okay? So now, every time he exits the toilet, he will say, Ibu, are you okay? So like, to me, I feel like we as parents, we really play a huge role in their upbringing, in their adab, in their akhlak. Like how we treat them, how we attend to them is really important to me. It's like, you will really see your children as your mirror. It's like what you do to them, they will do back to you. So if you want your child to be in a certain behavior, or you want them to, besar dengan elok, kita sendiri nak kena elok.
InsyaAllah. Amin.
Bunyi dia macam, I mean, it sounds like we have it easy lah. But no, I mean, as parents, it's not easy.
It's a journey.
As husband and wife, it's one hell of a ride. It's like, I mean, after 11 years, I feel like we didn't have it easy at all. It's like the susanness of the susanness of maintaining a marriage is really unexplainable. Like, and it wasn't easy for the both of us, or I think any marriage. It's that tough to the point that we've talked about divorce. Yeah. I mean, I'm not ashamed of it. Itu bukan aib. I mean, the problems we're not going to discuss, but that's the reality. It's that hard to the point that we actually talked about it.
Sampai terkeluar lah this topic lah.
Yeah, we almost went through it.
MashaAllah.
So, but we
but I think we go back to why we get married in the first place. Sometimes it's common for us to lose focus. Sometimes it's common for us to fall. Okay, jatuh. Then yang penting is how we get back up. Like I said, setiap rumah tangga tu ada jatuh bangunnya sendiri. Okay, and every one of us will definitely go through it, because this is how real things is. But at the end of the day, it's how we actually come together and come back and align ourselves, the compass, to where do we want to go from here. Matlamat kita apa, objective kita apa. And it's always easy for people to say that forgive, but certain things we just cannot get over it just like that. So this is where, again, really open communication. Kita nak kena faham what our wife is feeling, kenapa dia rasa macam ni, and we also have to understand husband kita macam ni kenapa, and we talk about it, what went wrong, or what can we do better. Apa yang kita dah terlepas pandang ni sebenarnya. Because sometimes we are just going with the flow, like as if we are going on a ride. Apa nak jadi. But sometimes we just need to have control of the steering wheel and really ask ourselves, where do we want to go from here. And it's very important guys. Again, 11 tahun dalam perkahwinan ni pada orang, 11 tahun je kan. But believe me, 11 years to some people is like 30 years of experience. And it's always about how do we come back from this. And kita nak kena, again, try to look past kebaikan dalam diri masing-masing. You still have this goodness in you. No matter what the flaws is, masih ada kebaikan dalam diri. And this is the thing that I'm holding on to. Because kalau kita nak katakan, oh, dia buat silap, tak mungkin kita pun tak pernah buat silap. Kita pun pernah buat silap. It's just a matter of whether it is being magnified or not. So again, coming back to kebaikan tu apa, kita fight for it. Kita nak kena keep from fighting, because syaitan tu sentiasa menunggu untuk meruntuhkan rumah tangga. And kita semua tahu cerita, kalau satu hari tu syaitan tu report pada iblis, hari ni aku mampu untuk meruntuhkan rumah tangga suami isteri. Syaitan tadi dapat the highest throne or the biggest crown. Kira dia dah kalau buat macam itu, dia mampu buat macam itu, kira dia dah
Top level
pangkat
dah.
paling tinggi.
Wow.
So sekarang ni kita nak biarkan syaitan tepuk tangan ataupun kita nak syaitan menangis. You know.
Correct.
So sometimes guys, it's just really you have to be real with yourself. Kalau kita buat silap, kita mengaku kita buat silap. Kita nak kena ada that humility to admit that we are wrong. Jangan salahkan orang lain, kita salahkan diri sendiri, and then we move on from there. And really try to make the effort to make amends and to make corrections. Jangan kita fikirkan lagi apa yang telah kita lakukan. Jangan bincangkan lagi. It's about moving on and moving on together. Hold each other hand, move on, make ourselves better. Kalau perlu diingatkan, kadang-kadang kita terlepas pandang ataupun kita terlepas cakap. Kalau perlu kita ingatkan, tapi dengan cara yang baik. But really, don't underestimate the power of hugs. Perlukan suami isteri tu. Don't underestimate that, because trust me, you can try this. Okay, based on experience, you can have the slightest bit of argument, you can have the slightest bit of disagreement. Kita boleh for that few minutes because kita dah marah, kita tak nak cakap. We don't want to look at each other, we don't want to talk to each other. But if you just lower down your ego and remind yourself again, sebelah aku ni isteri aku yang dah banyak berkorban untuk aku, yang jaga anak aku. Takkan benda macam gini kecil pun aku nak marah dengan dia sampai macam ni. Banyak lagi benda yang aku buat ni yang dia patut marah tapi dia tak tunjuk pun kat aku. You know. So if we just lower ourselves down and just look at each other dengan penuh kasih sayang, InsyaAllah hati kita akan lembut. And all you need to do is just go to your partner and hug them. It's magic, guys. Seriously.
Honestly, I hold on to like this one principle in my life. Macam kalau ada things that make me angry that he does, or the things that he do that hurts me, it's like I hold on to this just one thing. Like for as long as I'm still like, selagi mana I lagi cari keampunan daripada Allah, how can I not forgive him? It's like I hurt people too. I'm not perfect. I have my aibs. I make mistakes. You know, like, so I am constantly looking for forgiveness daripada Allah. Jadi who am I to hukum my spouse for the things he do? Sebab banyak lagi, ada berjuta lagi kebaikan yang dia buat dalam the marriage, for me to just look past that mistake he does.
Wow.
Yeah. So I that is one thing I hold on very close to me. So other than like, you know, sabar and doa, this is what I hold on very tightly to. And alhamdulillah, mashallah, like we've been so much better.
Alhamdulillah.
So yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Pasal kita boleh ada diorang kat sini hari ni.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
Wah, okay tak Yan?
Okay. InsyaAllah.
Emosi orang ni.
Ya, orang tu memang emosi.
Pasal tak pernah dengar this side of stories from the both of you. So bila dapat dengar ni macam
Orang nampak kita masuk air je kan.
Masuk air.
InsyaAllah. Okay.
Okay,
Think,
so
that is something that is for parents, for married couples to take away something from. InsyaAllah, whatever that they've shared today is beneficial.
yes.
I mean,
in how you handle whatever challenges that you might face
Yes.
as a parent, as a husband, or as a wife.
Yes.
Yeah. So and
Dia selalu kan at the end of the episode kalau emotional macam ni. Okay, tak apa. So we like to thank
we'd like to thank you.
Abang Fatih and Kak Farah again for
Thank
coming
you
our
for the
podcast.
opportunity.
thank you for
Yes.
having us.
Walaupun kita mula nervous, tapi yeah.
As it goes
Kita
by,
chill,
you're more
eh?
comfortable.
Yeah.
I think you guys make it easy. Tapi alhamdulillah
Oh.
for having us, for inviting us over untuk kita kongsikan lah. Bukan niat untuk mengajar, bukan niat untuk mengatakan yang kita yang terbaik. Tapi we all of us are doing our best in our own ways, in our own ability untuk mencapaikan yang terbaik untuk dunia dan akhirat kita.
InsyaAllah.
So alhamdulillah for this platform untuk kita sama-sama kongsi, dan mudah-mudahan siapa yang mendengar dapat manfaatnya. Doakan kami dan kita pun doakan antara satu sama lain. Dan mudah-mudahan based on this, insyaAllah kita akan lebih dapat merasakan yang nikmat Islam tu sendiri, nikmat untuk sentiasa berpandukan segalanya dengan agama. InsyaAllah semoga semua rumah tangga, keluarga kita diberkati dan rahmati Allah. InsyaAllah.
Amin.
Be kind and give hugs.
Yes, be kind. Hugs.
Keluar toilet kena tanya, are you okay?
Dia kena pekik.
Alright, so we have come to the end of the episode.
Yes, don't forget all about nikah from Fitriya SG last class.
Yes, last class about parenting, about everything to do to be better parents, insyaAllah.
Yes.
Yeah, so don't forget to like, share, subscribe all of our socials, Instagram, TikTok, social media. Apa? Instagram, TikTok,
Spotify,
YouTube. Like, share and get the numbers up so that people who listen to this podcast can benefit from it as well, insyaAllah. So till next time, see ya.